Hi friends, I am Dr. Shelmi Anthony. Now we can discuss the next portion of that chapter, that is heterotrophic nutrition. In the last class we have learned about autotrophic nutrition in detail. I am sure all of you know what you mean by heterotrophic nutrition and what are heterotrophs. നിങ്ങൾക്കറിയാം. Heterotrophic nutrition is the nutrition in which organisms depends on autotrophs for their food directly or indirectly. For example, in the case of herbivores, example നിങ്ങൾക്കറിയാം, cow, deer, etc. They are directly depends on autotrophs for their food. But in the case of carnivores, example lion, they depends on autotrophs for their food but indirectly. Directly they depends on herbivores, but herbivores depends on these autotrophs for their food. So these carnivores are indirectly depends on these autotrophs for their food. So depends on the type of food, availability of food, and the way it is captured, the nutritions are of different types. For example, in the case of deer, deer's food എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ അത് plants ആണ്, that are not mobile, that are stationary. But in the case of lion, ലയണിൻ്റെ prey എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് mobile ആണ്. So ഇത് catch ചെയ്യുന്ന way, that is different in both cases. So different strategies of nutrition are here. So first one is holozoic nutrition. What do you mean by holozoic nutrition? It is the nutrition in which an organism takes up complex food materials by the process of ingestion and then digest and absorb it. Example, unicellular organisms like amoeba. The nutrition in amoeba, we have to learn it in detail. Okay, നമുക്കത് ഈ ക്ലാസ്സിൻ്റെ അവസാനം അത് ഡീറ്റെയിൽ ആയിട്ട് കാണാം. So holozoic nutrition, the example is amoeba and free living organisms like a dog, monkey, etc. So that is holozoic nutrition. Complex food material ആസ്വദിച്ചെടുക്കുന്നു, അതിനുശേഷം അതിൻ്റെ ഡൈജഷനും അബ്സോർപ്ഷനും. The organisms takes up complex organic food material and then it digests and absorbs. And the next type of nutrition, that is parasitic nutrition. What are parasites? Parasites are the organisms which derive their nutrients from the body of another living organism without killing it. Parasites in the example നമുക്കൊക്കെ അറിയാം, mosquito, ticks, mites, ഇതൊക്കെ examples of parasites. So some parasites live inside the body, some other parasites live outside the body. So the parasites are living outside the body, example ticks, mites, etc. But some parasites live inside the body, example tapeworm. So this is about the parasitic nutrition. And the next important mode of nutrition, that is saprophytic nutrition. What do you mean by saprophytic nutrition? The organisms obtain their nutrients directly from the dead and decaying matter. That means these organisms takes up already digested food from outside the body. അപ്പോൾ in the case of holozoic nutrition, organisms takes up complex organic food material and then digestion and absorption, that is happening inside the body. But in the case of saprophytic nutrition, organisms derive their nutrients from dead and decaying matter. That means already they derive their nutrients from already digested matter. In the case of saprophytes, no, the digestion, the process of digestion is not happening inside the body. That is the difference. Differentiate between holozoic nutrition and saprophytic nutrition. And about the saprophytic nutrition, one more important point is there. This saprophytic nutrition is very important in soil biology because the saprophytes convert complex organic food materials into simpler substances like carbon, nitrogen and minerals and these are used by the plants or autotrophs again. So they are cleaning the environment and keep the balance of the ecosystem. That's why we are telling this saprophytic nutrition is very important in soil biology. These are the different types of nutritions. And next we are going to learn about nutrition in amoeba. This is very important. In your textbook, diagram is also there. So now we are going to see one slide to learn the process of nutrition in amoeba. See the slide. As we know, in single cellular organisms, the food is absorbed by the body surface. For example, amoeba, which is a unicellular organism, which absorb the food using temporary finger-like extensions of the cell surface. So in this figure, you can see that finger-like extensions of the body surface. So that is labeled as pseudopodia. So when the food comes, what will happen? These pseudopodia fuse over the food particle and forming a food vacuole. In the second diagram, you can see that pseudopodia fuse with the food particle. And in the third diagram, you can see that food vacuole. So what will happen? Inside the food vacuole, the complex substances are broken down into simpler ones. These simpler substances are diffused into the cytoplasm. And the remaining undigested material is moved to the surface of the cell and thrown out. So like amoeba, paramecium is also a unicellular organism. But in the case of paramecium, the cell has a definite shape. So food is taken at a specific spot. In the case of amoeba, doesn't have any specific shape to the body. That's why these pseudopodias are used for the absorption of the food particle. But in the case of paramecium, which is also a unicellular organism, but the cell has a definite shape. So the food is taken in at a specific spot, and food is moved to this spot by the movement of cilia, which cover the entire surface of the cell. So most important ആയിട്ടുള്ളത് nutrition in amoeba, but anyway for 1 or 2 mark nutrition in paramecium also they can ask. I hope you know what is cilia. Cilia are small hair-like structures which cover the entire surface of the cell. So how do that amoeba obtain their nutrition? That is very, very important. എല്ലാ ബോർഡ് എക്സാമിലും റിപ്പീറ്റ് ആയിട്ട് ചോദിക്കുന്ന ഒരു ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ആണ്, 3 മാർക്ക് ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ആണ്. ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് വെരി വെരി ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻറ്റ്. സോ ബേസ്ഡ് ഓൺ ദിസ് പോർഷൻ ന്യൂട്രീഷൻ we have to learn one more question, that is differentiate between autotrophic nutrition and heterotrophic nutrition. This question is there in your textbook. So you have to learn minimum 4 points. Okay, so first point, in the case of autotrophs, food is self-manufactured, but in the case of heterotrophs, they obtain their food from autotrophs. That is the first difference. And the second difference, in the case of autotrophs, an external source of energy is required. But in the case of heterotrophs, external source of energy is not required because they are not synthesizing their food material. And the third point is, simple inorganic substances like carbon dioxide, water, etc. is required in autotrophic nutrition, but in heterotrophic nutrition, these inorganic substances are not that much required. The last point is, autotrophs functions as producers, example plants, bacteria, etc. But heterotrophs functions as consumers. So they directly or indirectly depends on autotrophs for their food. Example, animals and fungi. And so based on today's portions, you have to learn some important questions. What are the differences between autotrophic nutrition and heterotrophic nutrition? And then why this saprophytic nutrition is important in soil biology, or differentiate between holozoic nutrition and parasitic nutrition, or holozoic nutrition and saprophytic nutrition, or parasitic nutrition and saprophytic nutrition. In any way questions will come. Then for 1 mark, name any two saprophytes, or name any two parasites, name any two holozoic organism. So in that way also questions will come. And one more important question, that is how does amoeba obtain its food, or explain the process of nutrition in amoeba with the help of the diagram. That question is also very, very important. Okay, thank you.